Hello and welcome back to Penguin Crafts. Today I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous card here. It's really stunning, really beautiful. A few bit of layers and a bit of stamping, but I think it's worth it. There's also some glitter on that as well. If you'd like to see how to make this, please keep watching. So the first thing you're going to need is lots of bits of cardstock in 3 different colours. So you're going to need your card base, which is an A4 piece of cardstock. On the short side cut at 4 1/8, so you get 2 out of each piece of A4. Fold in the middle at 5 7/8, and I've chosen fresh fig. The next bit you're going to need is your next layer, which is 3/8 smaller. So this one measures 3 6/8 by 5.5. So that just creates a wide border. The next layer, and that is in Berry Burst, sorry. The next layer you're going to need is either Whisper White, or I've decided to use the Shimmery White. I don't know if it's picking it up, but it's really, really beautiful. It just adds a little bit of shimmer and a little bit extra to your card. So this one is 5 1/4 by 3.5. So that's a slightly narrower border. And then you're going to need 3 more bits in the same order. And this is for our sentiment. So our sentiment, which again is the Shimmery White, is 3 by 2 1/4. The Berry Burst is 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. And the Fresh Fig is 3 1/2 by 2 3/4. All measurements and paper will be listed on my blog, which is www.penguincrafts.co.uk. So let's get started. I've just realised I've forgotten one thing. So I just need to grab that. Okay, right, so the first thing I'm going to do is a bit of stamping, so you can put the rest aside, and we're just going to work on our Shimmery White. Okay, so let me just make sure I've got all that I need before we do this. So you need some blocks. Ideally the small ones, so I've got 2 here. I've got a B block and a C block. And the stamp set we're going to be using is Colourful Seasons. This has got our sentiment and all the other bits we need. So we're going to need 2 flowers from the set. So we're going to need those. We'll come back for the sentiment, and then we're going to need 1 other bit. So we've got the 2 flowers, that one and that one. We then want this little bit black bit here, and then we'll use the sentiment later. Okay, so we're going to use our 2 inks matching, so we've got the Fresh Fig and the Berry Burst. And we're going to do a bit of stamping off on this as well. So we're going to ink up our stamp, and then I have got a bit of scrap here actually, so we'll do it on here. And then, as it's quite bright, I'm going to stamp it off and then stamp on again. Okay, so off once and then on again. It just makes it a bit more subtle, as it is quite a strong colour. So what we're going to do is randomly put on your stamping. I'm just trying not to get it on my background as I've made a mess of a lot of paper recently. Okay, and then I'm just going to do some of the Berry Burst. Again, we're going to stamp this one off. So you can put these as close together or as far apart as you wish. That's the beauty of making your own. It will be completely unique. Okay, so just work your way round, add more or less as I've said, and just keep going. You could do this with more colours than I've done. I've just decided that I think 2 for me is enough. It gives enough variation in the colouring, and I think it just works. Okay, so just keep going. I think that's enough. Okay, so I'm just going to pack these 2 inks away as we're done with those. And then you're going to need some black ink, but I am just going to clean these first. Just because, as you can see, I've got them quite messy. And it is best just to clean them off straight away. I do love my Stampin' Scrub. I don't know what I'd do without it. It just gets them so clean. It's so easy. It's perfect. Okay, so as I said, we now need our black. So I'm just going to switch up these blocks a bit. So there's our little, I don't know what you'd call it. I think it's for a winter one, but I quite like it. And we're going to grab our basic black. I'm not going to stamp it off this time. I'm happy with the dark black colour. I'm just going to check it's stamping okay, and it is. And then all I'm going to do is sort of drop these in a bit sporadically as well. Sort of in any pattern. Again, it just adds a bit more depth. I'm happy if these overlap the flowers. That's fine by me. I'm not bothered. And again, I think that's enough. Okay, so that's done with the black for a second. Again, I'm just going to clean my stamp. Okay, while we're doing stamping, we may as well do the sentiment. So I'll put that to one side because we will need that again. So I've got my bit of Whisper White. And then it's this large sentiment here. So as always, we're going to line this up on our grid paper. And that allows us to make sure we get it nice and aligned. Okay. And again, we're going to line up our bit of cardstock. And hopefully my head doesn't come in the video. And we're going to stamp it off. I'm actually going to use Memento Tuxedo ink for this. I don't know why, I just like the effect it gives. It gives it more of a dull effect rather than a bright black, which is what I'm after on this card. So I'm just going to check that it's all inked up. I'm happy that the background's sort of a bold black, but I like this bit to be sort of slightly dull. Okay, so all we're going to do is line it up with a bit of square on our paper. And stamp down. And just hold for a second, that's all I do, just to make sure everything's inked up well. And there we go. Nice and easy. One stamp. The beauty is though, if I had gone wrong, all I could do is just flip it over and use the other side. And that works fine. So, the next thing we need to do is I'm going to stick some of my layers together. Just because I'm doing this on a video. Normally I'd do it separately, so I'd suggest you do the glitter first. But as we are doing this on a video, I'm going to do it this way. So we need to stick these 3 layers together. So turn it over, grab out your snail or your fast fuse. Hopefully you all know by now that fast fuse is retiring, so if you do want it and are going to miss it, I would go and make sure you buy some. I know I have definitely stocked up, as I'm really going to miss the fast fuse when that goes. So as usual, just line it up and leave the gap. And then we're going to put on the next layer. So as usual, all the way around the edge. Oh, sorry, that was my computer. And then this is a slightly different border. And line that up. Okay. We might as well do these while we're here as well. And then all I have to do is layer it together. Okay, so work your way around and just start putting everything together. Oh, got a little bit of a hair stuck, there we go. Okay. So that's ready for later. So the last thing, or the main thing we now need to do, is play with some glitter. So I'm going to grab out this bit of scrap again, just because it'll be easier with the glitter. I've got my glitter here. it is the, what's it called? Brilliant Stamping Glitter. Silver Stamping Glitter. And it is very glittery, it's beautiful. So we're going to need that. We're going to need some of our fine tip glue and our embossing buddy. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is just using my embossing buddy, just go all over the card. We just want to make sure we only get the glitter staying where we've put the glue. Okay, so you need to work quite quickly with this next bit. So I'm just going to point using my bone folder. So what I'm going to do is on the fresh fig flowers, I'm going to put a dot of glue in the centre of each flower, and I'm only going to put the glitter on the fresh fig ones. So I'm going to open up my glitter ready. It's very glittery. I've got my glue, and as I said, you just need to work quite quickly because the glue does dry, and all we're going to do is put a little blob that fills the centre of the flower. Okay, so it's as if normally you'd fill that with a yellow section, we're just going to do it with the glitter. Some of these bits will be covered up by our sentiment, but I've got to work out where that's going to go. Okay, so that's all of those. Make sure you put your lid on your fine tip glue, as that does dry out pretty quick. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is scoop a bit of glitter out on my brush and tip that over the glue we just put on. Okay, so make sure you get enough on there. Okay, so we're going to tip it off anyway, but just make sure you've covered them enough. And then all I'm going to do is tap the card. Okay, and then if you need your brush, just grab it to get any excess bits off. It will stay only where the glue is, but sometimes little bits get stuck. Okay, and be careful because you do get glitter everywhere. So we need to set that aside to dry. So I obviously need to do that. I'm just going to clear up this glitter very quickly, or the majority of it, should I say. Okay. So I'm sealing that back up and putting it away. So normally, as I say, I'd leave this to dry, but as this is a video, I am going to crack on. So we've got our sentiment. We're going to grab some dimensionals on the back of it. I'm putting 5 on, you don't need to, I just like to. Oh, not 6 though, I don't want 6. I just like to make sure everything's secure on these cards. So all I'm going to do is line at the bottom of my card and align again and work out where I want it. I think I'm probably just going to put it in the middle. And press it down. And there you go, so there is another beautiful card. So that one is using Fresh Fig and Berry Burst, and then I've got another one here which is using, what's that one? It is Pink Pirouette and Sweet Sugar Plum. So there we go, 2 beautiful cards using the same stamp set and the same sentiment. I think they're both equally beautiful. I do like this one. That's absolutely stunning. They both are perfect. I hope you like this. As always, all details are in my blog, all dimensions, everything I've used, you'll be able to click and buy anything you'd like. So please click down below and go to www.penguincrafts.co.uk. Please give this a thumbs up and a subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. Thank you very much. Bye.